And welcome to the weekly wrap only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host, Vanessa Croy. So let's get to your biggest stories of the week. At number 5 this week, Waymo, the ride-hailing service, is facing new fallout over its self-driving taxis because apparently they don't stop for school buses as the law requires. The company says it's installed software to fix the glitch, but school bus cameras in Austin captured this: self-driving Waymos appearing to ignore the bus's flashing red lights and stop signs as kids are crossing the road. The company says it's working to understand what happened and how to improve.
The programming did not recognize what a vehicle is supposed to do around a stopped school bus with students loading and unloading.
The company says no one has been hurt in the incidents and the vehicles will still be on the roads, but it will file a voluntary safety recall this week. And at number 4, millions of student loan borrowers might soon need to find another repayment plan. On Tuesday, the Trump administration announced a proposed settlement agreement that would end the Saving on a Valuable Education Plan, or SAVE. The Department of Ed calls the program illegal, with false promises of very low payments toward fast loan forgiveness, coming at a high cost to taxpayers. If approved, those with SAVE accounts will be moved into other plans. And at number 3, former Congressman Colin Allred is pulling his name from the U.S. Senate Democratic primaries. He was eyeing John Cornyn's seat. So instead, he says he will run for Congress again in the newly drawn 33rd district. Allred says he's dropping out of the Senate race in hopes of avoiding a runoff election and keeping the party unified. The holidays are a time for family and friends, but as KENS 5's Jeremy Baker reports, it can be a very trying time for those with Alzheimer's disease and their caregivers. And that's because a season of making memories can be a season of losing memory for millions.
Finding a treatment to slow down the progression of Alzheimer's is a top priority for researchers. Being diagnosed with the disease early is a must to living as long of a healthy and happy life as possible.
We know that people who get early treatment and diagnosis do better with the treatment than in people who have delayed diagnosis and treatment.
The Mayo Clinic says most people who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease are age 65 and up. That's about 1 in 9 people in the U.S. age 65 and older, and about 1 out of every 1,000 adults between the ages of 30 and 64 are diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's.
If the diagnosis is delayed too long, they may not be candidates to be treated with drugs that can reduce amyloid plaques and protein in the brain.
Some cognitive signs of early Alzheimer's include memory loss, difficulty with problem solving, difficulty making decisions, trouble with language, and confusion about time, place, or people. Some of the behavioral signs of early Alzheimer's are withdrawal from social activities, changes in mood, difficulty with daily tasks, loss of interest in hobbies, and anxiety or irritability.
We can't cure, but we can slow down the progression and give people hope for more time with their loved one.
One recently FDA-approved treatment for early Alzheimer's is Leqembi. Dr. Helveston says treatments like this give patients more time with those that mean the most to them.
That has been demonstrated to reduce amyloid plaques and disease progression by 27%.
To learn more about early Alzheimer's disease and the various treatments available, check out this story on KENS5.com. In the studio, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
And stay right here. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem? Call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5+.
Coming in at number 2 in our countdown this week, it's been 5 months since the deadly July 4th Hill Country flooding. Community leaders, nonprofits, and disaster recovery experts met in Kerrville this week to discuss the future. The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country hosted a workshop with a look at what long-term recovery will take, as well as providing updated resources for residents. The Community Foundation CEO and one nonprofit shared with us the ongoing support they are continuing to see.
We've been so focused on helping everybody else, we do forget to think about our own mental health and taking a break and our rest. Reality is on the ground, not in the headlines.
And what we find in this recovery is people want to share their experience of what it's like to be participating in the recovery with one another.
The foundation plans to continue supporting nonprofit leaders and case managers. They tell us the process will go on for months, possibly even years. And time for this week's Neighborhood Eats. We're taking you out to a spot that prides itself in serving thick, juicy patties and some homemade sauce. The owner of San Antonio Burger came to the States from India in 2014 and says he always had a dream to own a business. Here's KENS 5's Simone Simpson.
People come here not just for the burgers. Our fries are pretty famous as well.
Sizzle, spice, and layers so nice here at San Antonio Burger Company.
You'll find burgers as big as Texas with flavors as bold as San Antonio.
Each patty that we put is made of love. Well done, rare, medium rare, whatever their choice, we take care of everybody's heart.
Good food with Lone Star pride feeds the soul. Since 2014, when Rohit Chugh moved here from India, he had big dreams.
I chose to become a business owner for a restaurant because it's a hospitality business. It's a business where you can show your really true customer service skills.
Now let's sink our teeth into the real test, how these burgers taste. First, the jalapeno pepper jack burger, complete with all the fixins.
It's a big burger. All right, let's take a bite. A pretty bite for TV. It's very savory. I love the heartiness of the meat. I like how you have the tanginess of the pickles. You have the jalapenos that has a little kick.
Next, the double meat burger.
Very tasty, seasoned.
Honorable mentions go to their famous fries, which were delectably crispy, and gyro, which was my personal fave. Buns gone, smiles on. Simone Simpson, Neighborhood Eats.
And stay with us, we'll be right back.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly, something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching KENS 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good!
that is fantastic, catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
And now to this week's Quick Hit, where Meredith Haas is confirming a certain TikTok trend does in fact work, and more.
Who knew that eating fast food could lead to wanting more food? The study was done on 18 to 25-year-olds who were eating an ultra-processed food diet, and the findings suggest that adolescents may be more vulnerable to ultra-processed foods, causing them to want to eat more and more. And if you've ever gotten the shingles vaccine, well, you may have a reduced chance at developing dementia. A study shows that people who have the vaccine have a lower dementia diagnosis by 20%. And it actually also helped people who already have dementia. And I'm always looking for a better skincare regimen, so now I found a study that says rosemary is really good for healing scars. The study was done because of a trend happening on social media, but it found that rosemary leaves actually may significantly improve the healing of skin wounds and reduce scarring. Thank you for watching this week's Quick Hits. I'm Meredith Haas.
And coming in at number 1 this week, President Donald Trump has started hitting the road to talk about a key issue on many voters' minds, and that's affordability. He traveled to the battleground state of Pennsylvania on Tuesday to tout job growth and falling prices. Government data shows the inflation rate has been falling since the beginning of the year, but started slowly rising again this spring. The cost of gas is down, but utility bills are up. Many people giving the economy mixed reviews.
Definitely failing. We're definitely faltering.
For myself personally, I'd probably say about a good B, just because my investments are doing pretty well.
A recent CBS poll found that a disconnect between how President Trump talks about the economy and how Americans say they feel, something Democrats are seizing on ahead of next year's midterm elections. And thank you for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap right here on KENS 5 Plus. We'll see you next week.